This is the Sally Port, the vaulted passage through which for nearly half a century thousands of students have entered into university life. But this picture is about what lies beyond the Sally Port. Symbolizing the living past of the Institute, a statue of the founder overlooks the earliest part of the campus to have been developed. The first quadrangle and the nucleus of buildings including Lovett Hall, which was ready for the inaugural ceremonies held in 1912.
To plan the campus and design the first buildings, Lovett and the trustees selected a distinguished architect, Ralph Adams Cram of Boston. At first challenged by the flat, almost treeless tract of land that was to be the campus, Cram soon created a new style of architecture, combining a variety of Mediterranean motifs and buildings set in a series of academic quadrangles. From the very beginning, the university projected a sense of physical beauty that embodied its high ambitions.
So, after several years of careful planning, on March 2nd, 1911, the 75th anniversary of the Texas Declaration of Independence, the cornerstone for the Rice Institute Administration Building was laid, and the new university officially put down roots in Texas soil.
By the fall of 1912, the first buildings had been completed, 12 faculty recruited, and 59 students matriculated. Here on the edge of the city, what must have seemed almost the edge of civilization to some of the faculty, Mr. Rice's dream had come to fruition. Julian Huxley wrote to his countrymen in England, trying to explain the astounding fact of a great new university housed in magnificent buildings far away on the Texas frontier.
We were confronted by an extraordinary spectacle. The administration building was before us, looking almost as if it had risen miraculously out of the earth. It seemed as new and real as a new species of bird of paradise lit on in a New Guinea jungle. Here it stood, brilliant, astounding, enduring.
President Lovett's vision for Rice was materialized in the architecture of the administration building, which was subsequently renamed Lovett Hall in his memory.
When Rice was first opened, President Lovett came here from Princeton. And there's a cornerstone over there on the administration building written in Greek. And roughly the translation is, rather, said Democritus or somebody, would I be the discoverer of one new fact than to be king of the Medes and the Persians. Now that was written at a time when king of the Medes and the Persians was the top dog in the world.
Passing into the Sally Port, there are the four faces carved into the corners of the arch, beginning with the excited freshman. Then, as they become more mature and self-possessed, the sophomore, the junior, and finally the graduating senior.
Of course, Lovett Hall is only a symbol of Rice, but it's a very important symbol. It's where the Office of Admissions has been located since the university first opened.
Of course, Lovett Hall was the first thing that I saw, and I remember going up the steps to see the admissions person, and remembering how old this building must be because the steps were sloped and you had to kind of watch what you did. And in fact, I came up those same steps 12 years ago when I attended my first meeting as a trustee of Rice University.
The university's alumni magazine was originally called the Sally Port, and the newsletter of the Rice Historical Society is still known as the Cornerstone. The building is indirectly the reason that Rice has one of the most distinguished schools of architecture in the country.
My father was William Ward Watkin, who came to Houston in 1910 from Boston to supervise the building of the first building of Rice University. And Dr. Lovett and Daddy were reading the Cornerstone, and it said, this school will be dedicated to letters, science, and art. And my father turned to Dr. Lovett and said, well, you've got letters, and you've got lots of science, but where's your art? Dr. Lovett said, well, I don't know. And Daddy said, well, I'll tell you, I'll be glad to start a little small school of architecture, and that'll be your art. So that was Daddy immediately offered to teach.
Hubert Bray, who earned Rice's first PhD in mathematics in 1918, composed a poem about Lovett Hall. A great man is Edgar O. Lovett. His office has nothing above it. It's 4 stories high, as close to the sky as William Ward Watkin could shove it. Lovett Hall really is the quintessential iconic image of Rice. It's at the center of campus life in all sorts of ways, and it's been seen and admired all around the world.
Oh, look what Dorothy's imagining.
She's imagining that you're graduating.
Congratulations, Elmo. Oh, thank you, Principal Elmo.
And then you can celebrate by dancing.
आजा आजा जिंद शामी आने के तले हैं आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमाने के तले हैं जय हो जय हो जय हो जय हो.
Then President George Bush chose Rice as the site for the 1990 World Economic Summit. It was a nice way to direct a little world attention to his adopted hometown of Houston. But in the late 1970s, Mr. Bush was one of the original faculty members at Rice's Jones School of Business. And we've had other Rice faculty who've made fairly significant contributions.
I've been at Rice more than half the time that Lovett Hall has existed, more than 50 years. In that time, I've seen a lot of changes in Houston and a lot of changes in Rice. And all this time, Lovett Hall really hasn't changed.
I'm proud to be part of the Rice University community and look forward to the university's centennial celebrations, starting with the 100th anniversary of construction on Lovett Hall. As a Rice board member, I attend meetings in Lovett Hall, sitting in the same room where Rice trustees of the past met to chart the course for the university's first 100 years.
Well, from the very beginning, the relationship between Rice and Houston has been important to Rice University and really part of its founding vision. We benefit today from being really in the center of this great city. And if you think about this campus, nearly 300 acres of a beautiful wooded campus, really in the center of the nation's fourth largest city, that's just remarkable. The theme for the University Centennial is Celebrate Rice. But we at Rice celebrate our roots in and our relationship to Houston and Texas, even as we continue to branch out to positively engage not only our city and state, but also our nation and the world.
And so we return to the Sallyport, a symbol not only of the living past and the living present of a great institution, but of the living future as well. For through it, incoming will continue to enter new generations of freshmen, and through it, outgoing will continue to issue new generations of graduates equipped to take their place in a challenging world.